Hello, my friends, it's me, Franziska. As you can see, I'm not feeling the best today, to say the least. And I want to make a little video about it because it's really important for me to share that. So it's the 29th of December, 24, and the year's coming to an end. It's about letting go old things, right? We want to close the year letting old things go, and as amazing as the universe is bringing opportunities to do that. So today I had such an opportunity, and something really old is coming up for me, and I want to make this video because the question was coming up for me: how can we ever trust God again after everything that happened? And this is such a deep question, and I'm sure many of you who have been through really bad things are coming to this point of this question. And we have to understand it's not necessarily our adult self asking this question, but the inner child, the inner child who was hurt, who was abandoned, who was not understanding what was going on back in the day, and having this deep feeling of betrayal from everybody around us, from the people who were supposed to protect us, but they hurt us. And then mostly the betrayal of life itself, the universe, and God. And it was, for me today, I was so, I had such a huge trigger coming up, a trigger that follows me my whole life, to be honest. And it's about things, outside things coming close to me, disturbing my peace, being loud, disturbing my sleep, not leaving me alone, just destroying my inner space of peace that I have. And it triggered me to a point where, to be really honest with you, I was crying for 3 hours, as you probably can see. And I was so desperate, and I felt like so, I don't know the English word, like when people are coming way too close and you're just like, just leave me alone, just go everybody away. I don't want noise, I don't want people, I don't want anything near me or anything. And this follows me. It's a pattern. And I was crying in this pattern. I was like, and I was trying to make sense from everything. And I heard my little child crying, like, why, God, why are you doing this to me? Since forever, since I'm a baby, you're doing this to me. And I really realized that this inner child that I have has such a deep distrust in God. Even me, adult Franziska, has found the most insane salvation feeling, peace that I found on my kind of connection to God, that I found maybe 2 years ago, 1 year ago. But I realized that just we found this peace does not mean all our inner children found this peace. And we have to kind of let space for that and let the inner children have their feelings. So I was like, okay, because I felt like I'm shutting down. I was in my bed. I'm like, I don't want to hear anything. I don't want to be with like, just leave me completely alone. Everybody, God, whoever, I don't want to see anybody and don't talk to anybody. I was so triggered. And then me, adult Franziska, was saying, okay, what do you want to do? Do you want to go to nature? So now I'm in nature. And my inner children was like, I don't care, whatever. It's like, okay, do you want to go to nature? And I really felt it's so important now to not repeat the same mistakes that have been done to me. This like pressure and come on, don't be such a like pussy and don't stop whining and da. No, we have to make something different. I was like, okay, should I make a cacao and we go out? And I heard my inner child saying like, you just want me to change. You just want me to be smiling and all happy again. I don't want, like, just leave me alone. And me adult. So it's like kind of a conversation that for maybe an outside person would sound a little bit insane, but it's the truth. And I was like, no, I don't want you to change. You can be in the mood you are. I completely understand where this is coming from. And I really felt this distrust towards myself. I didn't want to talk to God anyway. I didn't want to talk to anybody. But this kind of distrust to myself, but also kind of wanting to trust. This need, like, I want to trust. We want to trust, right? So, and it was so intense because I realized where the trigger was coming from. When I was a baby and they took me right after birth away from my mom, and then for 10 days I was lying in another room somewhere. My mom didn't even see me naked. She didn't even have me on her chest. This was like back in East Germany when the wall was still there. So we had like East and West Germany. So we had like Soviet conditions, and it was all like a mess. And I felt this pain of this being alone in this room. Nobody cared. And there was a schedule, like every 4 hours, the babies were taken to the mother to breastfeed them. And I was so tired from screaming because I was screaming when I was alone, because I had this insane fear of dying, which I also just realized 1 year ago. And then they brought me to my mom, and then I immediately fell asleep because I was so tired from screaming. But then the girls in the hospital, they came and like pinched me in my cheek, and this is where this is. Like, I hate it when people wake me up when I'm sleeping. It's like I'm getting so angry. I could like freak out. And I remember this feeling of like, just let me sleep. And I'm getting so angry. And I was angry today. I was slamming doors. I found myself so angry. I was like, okay, well, I have to really be there for myself now. So I made a cacao, went into nature. I promised my inner child, you don't have to change. You can be as you are. I completely understand you. I'm there for you. You are safe with me, at least. And then this fundamental question came up for me, like, how could I ever trust God again? Or like the child, after this betrayal, after all, we come into the situations when we are really young and we don't deserve it, right? And it's a process again. And me speaking as the adult self now, saying you don't have to trust God yet. The trust will grow. I know that everything that happens for my good, and I also know that God is always there, even if we don't see him, we don't feel him, we think we're completely abandoned from everything, even from God, which for me personally, I think was the greatest pain. The humans can leave us, like whatever, but when God leaves us, I mean, what's left? And I know he's always there. I had deep meditations or plant medicine ceremonies when I was in conversation with God, and he told me all the situations he was there. He told me, I was there when you were a baby and crying in this room. I was there when your mother hit you. I was there when this happened. I was there when this happened. All these years, he was there. He knew every little detail of my pain. So I know he was there. But my inner child, the baby or the 4 years old, it's like, feels like baby or 4 years old, younger than 4 years in this age, is still distrusting God. Like, if that could happen, then it can happen again. If this suffering and this pain was forced on me, why could it not happen again? So I don't trust you. You can tell me whatever, but I don't trust you. And I'm like, okay. And I realized it's okay for our inner children to feel whatever they feel, even if that's distrust, hate, rage, and all that. It's all okay because it has a source, it has something where it came from, and we need to be there for them now. This is like what I always say. I think healing is that we change for ourselves. We do something different than what has been done to us. We stop judging ourselves. We stop saying, "Oh, you little whiny, come on. We wanted to have a nice day. Let's." And this is like the self-talk, you know. You're not doing that consciously. It happens subconsciously. But the self-judgment and the self-blame, putting guilt on us because we are not as perfect as we were like planning to be. We have to let go of that. This is like the first step of healing. We have to let go of that in order to even get to the pain that is underneath. When we always trying to be perfect and like staying on the surface level and like, come on, we have to be strong, we have to be that. We're not getting deeper, and the pain is so painful. Unfortunately, it's the pain. But I know from all my experience that every pain that has been seen, something heals when you don't run away from it, when you stop looking away, when you stop judging, then it gets healed piece by piece. And the trust from the inner child comes back that if it shows the pain, like I had today, like really intense, at least I will be there. Even if other people don't understand. I was sitting on a bench, wanting to have my peace and my cacao, and there were people coming and asking me to sit next to me. And I'm like, sorry guys, but I really need space now. And they were acting angry, like, how, like, but it's like the bench is for everybody. I'm like, seriously, I need some space now. So people don't understand our boundaries. Many people don't understand. And if you are a sensitive person, you probably know that you are kind of fighting for your boundaries, and people are not getting it. They feel offended. They're blaming you for, I don't know, being arrogant or for being selfish or whatever. It's your boundary. It's our boundary. I need my space. And if other people don't respect that, it says more about them than it says about you. So, yeah. And I just want to assure you that even if you are so far away from God, you even are triggered by the name God or by the concept or the like idea of that, it doesn't matter. God is there anyway, every step of the way with you and supports you even if you can't see him. I know that 100%, like 100%. And the deep peace that I didn't feel today, but I feel in general in my life now, that resulted from me stopping the war with myself. It's so priceless, and the drawing closer to God and getting back into the safe arms of God, even if we don't understand. We don't understand why this stuff happens to us and everything. I know that this trigger today was a gift in a way because it gives me the opportunity to see what is still there, the wounds that are still there, and to feel and to be there for my inner child. And I know that for sure. And it just sometimes takes time to come to this realization and to leave this feeling of being a victim, feeling of being powerless and helpless and not being able to change our situation. But be assured that now you're an adult, you can change the situation. Sometimes it takes a bit longer. Sometimes it takes a bit time, but if you have your like polar star at the sky, you can walk towards it. And even if it takes time, it's like, I will not stop. I will not stop. So we have to be determined. And I know I'm going to be grateful for this day, because it really showed me so much already. It's not even over the day. And yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. And it's probably going to be my last video for 2024. I was actually planning on uploading something else, but I think that's more important now. And yeah, I had an intense 24, so many things, so many triggers, so much healing, so much stuff that came up, situations and travels, encounters, insights. My journal is full. And so this was kind of maybe like at the cherry on the top of the year a little bit. And yes, I'm sending you much love, and I hope you can also let old things go in 2024. Let old things go. And sometimes they show themselves not as like, I want to let this go. Sometimes they show themselves as pain, or as like an old belief pattern. And the belief pattern that was underlying my trigger today was that I'm nowhere safe and I cannot find peace anywhere. And yeah, this is a deep belief my inner child still has, and I'm working on that. And yeah, then I'm wishing you nice last 2 days of the year. Say goodbye to old things, or take them with you if you're not ready yet to let them go. It doesn't really matter. It's like whatever you do is fine. Like even if you're not able to let something go, but you want to let go of it, take it with you. It doesn't matter. It's just a matter of time. Then you let it go in 25. We hold on to things as long as we hold on to them. We should not pressure ourselves and force ourselves to let stuff go. It doesn't work anyway. So my dears, I wish you a beautiful day, rest of the day. I'm sending you some love from the Swiss Alps. This would have been a much nicer view from you. So, but now you have seen my crying face. That's also, yeah, that's also something, right? So I'm wishing you a nice, how you say, New Year's Eve. And then I see you in the next year, 2025, with new energy, new power, new visions. And yes, I will come to that in the new year. We will talk about visions for sure. And I'm sending you blessings and much love for me. Bye-bye and namaste.